Corbins is an electrical contractor who serves a wide variety of clients through virtual construction and fabrication, electrical construction and service.
Corbins Electric was founded in 1975 by Bill Corbin. He had been involved in the electrical contracting industry for several years. When it comes to embracing technology, lean concepts, we're really a leading edge electrical contractor right now.
To us, lean is about the elimination of waste, but it's a deeper cultural issue for us. A lot of our processes were paper-based or they were Microsoft Office-based. We used a lot of Excel forms, and we had a lot of problems with that, right? People would save old versions of the form, just the users not being as familiar with the functionality, they would break things. And then we had to email everything, scan things, or deliver paper copies of things.
So I think the scary part in the beginning, especially for the CFOs and controllers, is sometimes giving too much information to people and not knowing what kind of decisions they're going to make with it. But you have to train them and trust them to make the right decisions. Our accounting software is limited. There's licensing fees per user. So really we had a very small base of who had access to that information, and so if someone outside in the field needed information, they'd be calling us, we'd run a report. That was super time consuming and distracting, and it probably made them feel like we didn't want them to have that information, which really wasn't the case.
I was contacted via LinkedIn. He said, you need to take a look at this platform, and you can do whatever you want with this platform.
When we were smaller, we were purchasing $250,000 in tools every year. And that was to replace the tools that went lost or missing. So tool tracking was an issue for us. We need to build apps that are going to add value for processes or departments, right, to get the maximum effort that we can out of what we're putting into it. And now we have an app that touches almost every aspect of our business.
I think we have about 40 distinct apps deployed. Some of them, range from people using them one time a day to daily report, which is probably used 300 times a day, maybe more. So it depends on the app, but we have probably, I think, close to 200 different objects, which is different versions of each. Because we usually have a foreman, a superintendent, a project manager, an office version of almost every single app with different securities and permissions and stuff like that.
The main thing it really started with was the daily reports. That documentation of the time entry for the guys, the work performed, the delays, all that. That's where it really kind of started from, and then it evolved into now we get monthly evaluations for the guys that are captured, and they're available for all the superintendents to see. If an employee leaves my site to go work for another superintendent, he can pull up their evaluations, where if it was when they're on paper, once they get sent to the office, God knows where they go.
They can view all the information for their projects that accounting has, and they might have questions, and that's something we can train them on, and I think they feel more trusted because we're giving them a full picture of our business.
There was a lot of people putting in their input of what it needs to protect, which is the end Corbins. I mean, our investment is every nut, bolt, and tool that's out there. And makes it better for us, makes it better for the next guy that needs the same tool. It's real nice for me to be able to see, even at a glance, what am I sitting on my tool inventory out here, as opposed to digging through notebooks. I can run the whole gamut of the whole job.
If we had grown in size the way we did the last 2 years, 60% revenue growth year over year, I just can't imagine having done that without it.
Overall, the greatest ROI for us is really something that's harder to measure, but it's cultural. The benefit is we can roll something out and then make a change to it the next day, and it's seamless. They don't even have to download a new version of it. And then we get to develop as many of those functionalities on the platform as we can for the same price. So when we looked into it, it was truly that. It was a platform that we can modify to meet our workflows and extend functionality mobily. The big challenges we had after we got our first couple apps out in the field and functional. We focused on our daily reports and time collection, and we focused on material requisitions. And as soon as we were able to develop those and get them deployed, and people could see what it was capable of, the list of potential apps was exponential.